Hey guys, I'm going to go over multiplying polynomials. And so hopefully you remember what a polynomial is, but right here we have a monomial, which just means it has one term, multiplying by a binomial, which means it has two terms. So in fact, I'll go ahead and take some time, kind of remind you. Polynomial is an expression that is separated, that has terms and is separated by addition and subtraction signs. So we have that's two terms there, that sort of thing. And then we have down here a binomial, which means it has two terms, multiplied by a trinomial, which means it has three terms. So I just want to go over how we would do each one of these. The first one, we would just distribute 4x squared into the parentheses. So we'd multiply 4x squared times 3x squared, and then 4x squared times 1. So what we would get is just 12x to the fourth, because remember when we're multiplying things like x squared and x squared, because they have the same base, we just add the exponents. So we get 12x to the fourth. And then 4x squared times 1 is 4x squared. And then we would be done with that. So that would be your final answer. With this one down here, so with this problem down here, what you have to make sure you do is that every term in the first parentheses multiplies by every term in the second parentheses. So what I mean by that is this x here has to multiply by all three terms in that second parentheses. And then the second term multiplies by every term in the second parentheses. And that doesn't matter what the size of the parentheses are, or what the polynomials are, or if it's a 3-term times a 3-term, or it doesn't matter. You just make sure every term in the first parentheses multiplies by every term in the second. So we're actually going to do this. So if I did x times 4x squared, I get 4x to the third. If I do x times negative 8x, I get negative 8x squared. And if I do x times negative 1, I get negative x. If I do 3 times 4x squared, I get 12x squared. If I do 3 times negative 8x, I get negative 24x. And if I do 3 times negative 1, I get minus 3. Now from here, I'm just combining like terms. So my like terms, let's see, this doesn't have any like terms. And I did this first because it has the highest exponent. Then negative 8x squared and 12x squared would add up to 4x squared. Negative x and negative 24x would give me negative 25x. And then minus 3 would come down. And that would be your final answer. So the main thing, guys, when you're multiplying is make sure that every term in the first parentheses multiplies by every term in the second parentheses. If you do that, then you'll get the correct answer.